Hey guys, it's Deborah. I have something super exciting and encouraging to share with you guys about the 70 shepherds of Israel prophecy, the Enoch prophecy. And this is basically based out of First Enoch. No, it is not part of the canon. No, it is not in the Bible. But I'm going to put a disclaimer before I even get into the video for anybody putting in the comments, never read Enoch. There is Enoch 1, 2, and 3, I believe. 2 and 3 have no proved validity-wise from the Bible, but First Enoch is validated through the Bible. Not just that Enoch was mentioned, it was literally quoted out of the book of Enoch in the Bible. So I'm going to start with that as a disclaimer. Jude 14-15. It was also about these that Enoch, in the 7th generation from Adam, prophesied, saying, this is straight out of the book of Enoch, verbatim. See, the Lord is coming with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment on all and to convict everyone of all the deeds of ungodliness that they have committed in such an ungodly way, and of all the harsh things that ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Again, this is not just discussing Enoch. This is physically quoting out of the book of Enoch in Jude. Am I saying you should go and read all of Enoch? You have all you need in the Bible, but the first book has validity because it is quoted directly out of the Bible. So you can read that too. This is the actual verse he was quoting from, 1 Enoch 1:91. Behold, he comes with the myriads of his holy ones to execute judgment on all and to destroy all the wicked and to convict all flesh for all the wicked deeds that they have done and the proud and hard words that wicked sinners spoke against him. So as you see, he was reading directly out of the book of Enoch. So again, I'm not saying you should take it as inspired by God, as every word out of Enoch's mouth is inspired by God. What it looks like to me, it would be an extra biblical reference that could validate the Bible. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm not telling you to use the book of Enoch as the Bible. I'm very careful about all that. And the second and third books I have found to be quite strange. I didn't even read them all. I'm not okay with them. But this one, it is literally quoted. The Bible, Jude actually quotes it. Okay, so now on to the fun, exciting prophetic stuff. So I was a little concerned with the 70 shepherds of Israel prophecy because basically at this point, there shouldn't be a 13th prime minister after 1948. Why? Well, I'm not going to get into all of that because it's a whole thing. I've done videos on it. I'll link something in the comment section to help you understand a little bit more of the prophecy. I'll try to find something, either an article or my old video. And if you don't know what's going on with that. So basically the overall gist is that Enoch actually said that there would be 70 shepherds of Israel. And there would be some ancient shepherds and some new shepherds. I'm only going to focus on the new shepherds. Now, this video is not to give you a complete understanding of the 70 shepherds of Enoch prophecy, but just a brief overview. Like I said, I will link in the comment section, probably an article or something to help you, or a video or something. But for those of you who've been following along, we're going to be focusing on the last shepherds, and something that I found out that is extremely encouraging. I was concerned that maybe this wasn't happening, as I said. But let me show you where in Enoch it talks about the shepherds, and I'll go from there. Okay, so first we're going to start in the first book of Enoch, or the book of Enoch, chapter 89. And I'm going to read chapter 89, verse 59. It says, he then summoned 70 shepherds and surrendered those sheep to them so that they might pasture them. He spoke to the shepherds and their colleagues. From now on, let each and every one of you graze the sheep and do everything which I command you. Now, the point is he's having a vision. The vision, it definitely ends up really corresponding with the book of Revelation, but I'm not getting into all that. I just want to say this is where it talks about the 70 shepherds. It's kind of where it begins. So there are 70 shepherds of Israel, all totaled. Now, the article I think I'm going to link for you guys, it's not perfect, but it talks more about the ancient shepherds and then the shepherds that start after 1948. So in total, there's 70. And let's go on to the next verse, and then you can understand what I mean. Okay, so now we're in the chapter 90, and this is where this revelation came from. And I'm going to tell you, it was not my revelation. Actually, someone else realized this. The problem I have is at this point, I'm not too sure about sharing where I got the source from, because I haven't looked into this enough, but this person enough. But at this point, I'm not taking credit for realizing this, but literally, I found this out today, but at midnight. Like, it was like just after 12 last night. So today is August 30th, which actually is my birthday. So on my birthday, when the hour turned past midnight, I found this out. Okay, it felt like literally a birthday gift from the Father, because I wasn't sure about where we were going with this prophecy, but this is really encouraging. Okay, so now we're in chapter 90, and it said, chapter 90, verse 1. Then I saw that how 37 shepherds were pasturing the sheep. All of them completed their duties. This is key. All of them completed their duties in their own respective periods. Like the former ones, and the aliens took the sheep into their hands in order to pasture them in their own respective periods, each shepherd in his own period. Then we're going to skip down to verse 5. It said, I kept seeing till 23 shepherds pastured the sheep, and all of them completed 58 seasons in their own respective periods. So I showed you in chapter 89 that he said there will be 70 shepherds in total, 70 shepherds. But here it said there are 37 shepherds up at verse 1 were pasturing the sheep, and they completed their duties. Okay, so then it says down here there were 23 shepherds, and and all of them completed 58 seasons. They completed their duties. They completed their seasons. This is the key that I want to talk about. Now, in total, the numbers equal 70. So he said in chapter 89 there would be 70, and if you read the whole thing, it equals to 70 shepherds. Now, the article that I'm going to link for you guys will go into more detail about how to break those down. Either way, it leaves you with 12 shepherds. After you read the details that he goes into all the shepherds, I believe it totals, it would be like 53 shepherds or something like that. Basically, he breaks up the shepherds, but he leaves you with missing 12. So he talks about them all pasturing their sheep, what they do, and completing their periods. And he leaves you with 12 shepherds missing. So let's go from there. Again, this is not meant to be an in-depth study on the 70 shepherds of Enoch prophecy, but it's starting to turn out like that, but it's not meant to be. So I'm going to stop going into more details about it. I just wanted to give you a brief background, but many of you know it. Anyway, so let's look at the prime ministers, the last 12. Like I said, it breaks it down so that there's 70 in total. The 12 start from 1948. Now, here they all are. When you Wikipedia it or whatever to see the prime ministers in succession of Israel, you will see many names repeated over and over, because as you see here, several of them ran several times. Some of them had gaps and then they went again. So Benjamin Netanyahu, it shows 1996 to 99, and then it shows again 2009 and on. Now this is a little bit older, so it doesn't show that Bennett came in after Netanyahu. So if you count here, there are 12, but Netanyahu's there twice. So as you can see at the bottom, it says Benjamin Netanyahu, but it says him up there too. Like, you don't count the shepherd, even though they, served more than once, you only count them once. So there's 12. So Netanyahu was the 12th, because he was the 12th. Anyway, there's 12 of them. So here's the thing. I was a little concerned, like I said, about the prophecy, because obviously Bennett came in. It didn't make sense. I had done a video a long time ago about like 3 men that I feel like, the Lord was kind of showing me. I never heard an audible voice. I didn't have a dream or a vision. It was just a feeling I got that they kind of represented three ends of some ages. Like that DJT represented the end of nationalism, and that there'd be the one world currency, that he was kind of like the end of like the monetary side of things, that it'd be separate, and that the Pope represented the end of different religions, that there would come in a one world religion, and that kind of relates to the Malachi prophecies that he should be the last, and that Netanyahu represented the end of governments and there'd be one world government, and that he kind of was like a symbolic, So when new people came in, it did throw me off, and I just hung on to that. I thought God had shown me that, but if I was wrong, I was fine with that, but I really don't think I'm wrong. So now with all this Enoch thing, it really threw me off again, because I was like, okay, there shouldn't be a 13th. That's 71 shepherds. But this is where all the amazing revelation happened at midnight on my birthday. This one little word, completed. So what did I just read? I read in Enoch 90, chapter 90, that all of the shepherds, and it said it repeatedly, completed their periods. So to be a shepherd of Israel, you must complete your period. Again, I didn't have this understanding, or I didn't find this clue. Someone else did, and it happened on my birthday. It just happened to happen at midnight. Anyway, the point is, I really believe it was a huge blessing to find this, because what does that mean? Does that mean the 70 shepherds of Enoch prophecy is out? No. 70 shepherds have now been completed. So Bennett is similar to Biden, biding the time. He's an interim. If this is correct, I believe it makes sense, and it is. But I mean, obviously, if time went on and then there was someone new, then clearly this is wrong. But like at this point, it makes perfect sense. 70 shepherds have been completed. Netanyahu was the 12th of the last, the modern shepherds, the latter shepherds. He was the 12th, and he completed his term. Now it's funny, because both DJT and Netanyahu, I don't say DJ's full name because I don't know if algorithms and stuff like that, but anyway, we'll have a problem. But anyway, they both say they're coming back. Okay, they both have said that. They mimic each other in so many ways. One got impeached, the other got indicted. I had a bunch of things where I went through how they kind of mimic each other's lives, and then now they're both out, and they're both saying they're coming back. Okay, so all I can say is that was a huge birthday blessing, and it really just brought this completely back into play. I didn't disregard it, because it's tricky, because when you count the shepherds, they're like, some of them were good, some were bad. The article will explain it a little bit better. And so some you don't count because they were good. All the shepherds, they say, sadly, they do say they don't go to heaven. Like the 70 shepherds, not, but there are some that were good in it. And so anyway, the point is, it's a little confusing because he talks about 23 and I think, I can't remember how many he talks about, but he goes into several different groups of numbers of the ancient ones, 35 or something like that. And then when you calculate them all, they're minus 12. There's 12 that are missing. And he says in chapter 89, there is supposed to be 70. So that being said, this completely fits because they have to complete their period. Now, if Bennett was to serve for a certain amount of time and completed his whole thing, then he would be the 71st, or maybe he's a good shepherd. I don't know, but like he's probably not. But anyway, the point is it all works out. And that fact that it said they had to complete their period, it puts us right in the time period. Basically, the 70 shepherds have completed their period. The Malachi prophecies basically say, or Malachi, I don't know how you say it, but they basically say that the 112th pope is the last pope. And both of them end exactly the same way. The terrible judge comes, or there's judgment on the earth. So I hope this encouraged you guys, because instead of the 70 shepherds of Enoch prophecy being possibly out, which I didn't think it was, but if it could have been out, because now you have the 71st, or what's up with this? I thought, it was going to end with Netanyahu. There was a prophecy. I think some rabbi said he would hand the keys to Mashiach, their Messiah. That Netanyahu would hand the keys to him. So we all thought that that's how it would go, not that there'd be someone new. But yeah, anyway, instead of it being out, instead it puts us in the absolute perfect position for the rapture and tribulation coming now. So it puts us in the exact perfect situation. So here's the thing is you have so many prophetic things coming together all at once, and they could so soon be discounted. So soon. And like the Kaduri prophecy, as you guys know, the Kaduri prophecy where it says that in year 5780, it's the year of corrections, there'd be no government, and the whole prophecy about, you know, the prophecy. Anyway, that's standing on the precipice of it's just teetering there, waiting to be completely fulfilled. But it's not out, and it's completely okay. The Kisma and the Shoshani prophecies I've talked about in the past, I'm just letting them be for now because they were never, so Enoch is validated by Jude. Kaduri is validated in the way that he said Yeshua is Messiah. The other two didn't. Although Shoshani did say there'd be two Benjamins and neither one would establish their government. But then there's another part to it talking about the Sabbath. We don't really know what that means, but I'm just kind of holding it there because it's been fulfilled in other ways. So we don't know. I won't get into all that. That's a lot. But let's just say we can't just throw it out right away when things don't go our way, because even the first time Jesus came, as a baby, this is not how they expected it. Things don't go completely as you expect it. And, even though the books are being opened and all the stuff, Daniel shut up the book, John shut up the book, but in the end they'd be opened. These things are becoming more revealed to us. People, it says in the end, there'll be dreams and visions and all this stuff, and they'll increase and knowledge will increase and all this different stuff. So we know that we're given a lot of keys, but obviously we see in part, prophecy in part, we don't have all the answers completely. So we can't just throw things away, which I didn't. But this is amazing. I think this was a blessing. And to happen on my birthday, I know that's just for me. That's not for you guys. But for me at midnight, and it was a really not perfect, wonderful night. Let's just put it that way. I won't get into the details, but there was some issues in the night. And basically, it didn't go great, but it's like I got that and then things went pear-shaped, let's just say, which is a saying to say they went very bad. So yeah. Anyway, so I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. I'll put, instead of a video, I think I'm just going to link I don't know, it'll be either a video or an article or both to help you guys understand. Most of you understand all of this prophecy stuff because you've been following me. But for those of you who are like, what are you even talking about? Just know prophecy is coming to pass and nothing is off the table. And this is really huge, okay? These men all completed. The 70 shepherds have completed their periods. That's what we were waiting for. Nothing really could have happened prior to the completion of Netanyahu's period because it said 70 shepherds had to complete. After the completion, boom, it's up in the air how it's going to go. But, well, not up in the air. It's going to go how the rest of the book says, which it will be that there will be judgment. But it also talks about other good things too. But there's a lot of judgment stuff. Anyway, this went a bit longer than I had expected. My main goal is just to tell you guys that this prophecy is more alive and important than I've ever seen it. And so, yeah, all 70 shepherds have completed their periods, and we are now waiting on the judgment and obviously for us, the escape and all that stuff. So, this is pretty amazing. So the stage is set. This prophecy is fully in play, and we had this missing puzzle piece. Maybe others knew about it, but definitely I didn't, that the shepherds all had to complete their period, and that has finally happened. So what's next is what it says is next, and it matches with the book of Revelation. And so the stage is basically set. So hope that blessed you guys and was interesting as it was to me. And just keep looking up because our redemption draws nigh. So, I hope to talk to you guys again soon or see you in the air. And until next time, God bless and shalom.